trying to have an original idea within the Most High's idea. And what'll happen is their world will bust out of the Most High's original world if they achieve this. So if they achieve what they're trying to achieve at CERN, they will be successful at recreating darkness. And darkness is the most subtle force in our reality. It's where everything come from and go back to. It's the Alpha and Omega. You have to go to it every night when you go to sleep. And when you go into that darkness, when you're sleeping, guess what? You're able to create new worlds. But you can't create new worlds because you can only use this as a template. So when you dream about the sun, the moon, the clouds. You take this same world to the dream world because this world is inside of us as well. It can be accessed anytime we find ourselves in darkness because it's simply nothingness but your idea. You participate in tuning into the original idea that created it all in the first place. You being here is you tuning into a vibration and embodying and becoming and matching yourself with that vibration and becoming a human in your mother. For you to come from the invisible realm into the womb of your mother, it's no different than me turning a radio knob, trying to pick up a station. And when I find a clean station, I stop there and listen to the song. And the length of the song is 9 months. When the song is over, you're born and you play another song on your own record player because now you're out of the womb of your mother and you're now on the earth womb as an independent reference point. So we're all expressions of the Most High, but individuality is an illusion based upon us journeying from the center. When we left Eden, we had a concept of individuality. But when you go to Eden, all of the humans there, they don't have a concept of individuality. They have a concept like a school of fish in the ocean. They all move as one. The shark can't bite them because they all one mind. They like a herd mind. And that's what the civilizations in Eden is like. They don't have individuality. When you reach the center, everything understand that it's part of the whole and that earth is just one body. There is no human individuality in Eden. All right. The people there think totally different than us. In fact, when you think about individuality, the symbol for I or the individual is the ripple effect. So if you think of a lowercase I, this is the ripple effect. All individuality stops at the center because we all become one individual body. We all become the universe. But when you venture outward from the center, you have individuality. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. When you access the center of the earth, there's no need for religions, meditation, symbolism, because now you become the God that you were seeking. So if we were to all get on a boat and travel toward the center of the earth, when we make it there, we'll know everything about the earth. And as we move in toward the center, different knowledge will just be dropping into our spirit. And we'll be like, damn, where am I getting all of these ideas? It's because you're moving closer to the center. So by the time you reach the center of Mount Meru, you will be completely God-minded. Like you will have all the people there. Like I said, there are no secret societies in Eden because everyone knows the secret when you make it there. So when we travel to the center of the earth, we're traveling to the center of ourselves. That's why when we make it there, we'll already know what we need to know to penetrate that torus field, because these firmaments or torus fields are not barriers. They are just meant to be penetrated by those who match the vibration of the torus field. Then you can enter. They're only a barrier to the people who are trapped, who don't have that central vibrating energy, who still trapped with the polarities. But any of these torus fields can be penetrated by those who vibrate with the energy of the center, because this is where all of them emanate from. This is why you can place a Buddha anywhere in the cosmos and they can find peace. They can find Zen from within because they understand that Mount Meru is also within them. So when you look at this ripple effect right here, I want you to pay attention to it. What you're looking at is a lowercase I. This became an alphabet called an I. Now, Santos Bonacci probably not aware of what I'm showing you now because, like I said, he made the mistake of using the alphabets in language form. So he spell with these symbols. I don't spell to get the truth because spelling is what gives you the lie. This is why Santos can only go back to Atum and he can't go back to the womb because he don't understand the ripple effect. He don't understand the sacred feminine. So once he arrives to that level, he will get past the Helios, the polarity, the sun-centered Atum version, and he'll get back to the center where the ripple started from. That's the great womb. Now, if you look at this picture, it shapes like a womb. It's a triangle. And again, it creates the I, or the individual, you and me. We all come from the womb.
I see that. Yeah.
So when we go back to the center, there is no individuality. There is a herd mentality. The fishes in the ocean never left the center because all the oceans and all of the waters are connected to Mount Meru. This is what renews the oceans. This is why we need water to live. But you need water to live in the flesh. When they say that you will die without water, that's not true. You will die without darkness. Darkness is the primordial sea, the primordial water. The moment you can't access darkness, you can't reset yourself. You can't reincarnate. If you close your eyes and you can only see a white light, that means you're now erased. You're blank. A blank sheet of paper is white, but a dark sheet of paper, what we see behind the stars, is full of potency and potential. Fertile soil is dark. Once you strip it of its nutrients, it becomes white. So this is not no battle between races like pro-blacks try to make it, because we all go to darkness, and we all come from darkness, no matter what color you are. Human skin isn't no particular color. Our skin is various shades of the rainbow determined on various vibrations. And these vibrations ain't good or bad. They're all beautiful interpretations of the one source. But like I said, when we journeyed from Eden, we gained more conscious knowledge and lost more subconscious knowledge. So what we live in is a world based on polarity, where the further you journey from the center, the less of the signal you pick up, but the center is within you. You can access it, but the message may be distorted. And that's how we get all of these different religions that distort the message the further we leave Eden. But when we go back to Eden, there are no religions, because nature is the religion. Your way of life there is the religion. There's no need for a book, and you can't hide your feelings because the beings there are telepathic. There's no need for confession because the earth is the one we confess to in Eden. Once you go there, the earth we confess to no matter where we are, because you can't hide nothing from the earth. So we confess to the earth, not to the popes. That only happens in patriarchal societies that journey far away from the center, like us. We're not far from Eden, but we're far enough to where we need to use crystals. We have to have groups and think tanks and religious institutions, and we still can't reach Zen. We still can't reach the center of ourselves. So we've journeyed a long way from the center of the earth physically, which led to us journeying away from the center of ourselves. This earth is a micro-macro relationship. Wherever you are on it determine what you are on it. So if you were born in Eden, you would be a different creature. For whatever reason you came here was to complete a mission to better the whole, and your point of living is to find out that mission. So I can go on and on with this, but I just wanted to show you how the lowercase I represents the ripple effect.
Well, brother, I see a video of you working with the crystal. It's very interesting.
Hey, I appreciate that. I try to pour out my teachings to the community that we can take them and further each other with them. We might not reach the entire earth, but I think if a couple of us start vibrating, who knows what'll happen. We may reach a place of Zen where we establish worlds within us before death. That's what the ancestors did. They went within, I'm sorry.
I don't think people realize how deep this all is, do they? That's what you're showing us.
I don't think they do, because when we talk about individuality and a ripple effect, the further we leave the center, the more individual, or the more we seem separate from each other. I think it's deep because the lowercase I is a hieroglyph. And when you spell it out, it's E-Y-E, which is Eve. Eve is E-Y-E, or the I, which is the mother, which was the singularity that started the ripple effect, as you can see here.
The I, my I, the I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. The I. Everywhere, the I.
So when you look at this ripple effect, the point of singularity in the middle gives birth to circles around it. And that's your four corners, or your 360s. So if you look at Goddess Kali, her tongue out and her body represents the I in the center of the ripple. Her forearms represent the circles that are being emanated from the center, the four corners, or the 360. And I love to talk about this because the I is what we live in. You live in you. You live in your body, which is an I, you the individual. And the cosmos outside lives inside of you. This is a place of micro, macro, macro, micro. Everything outside is in you, and everything in you is outside. There is no such thing as physicality, because you can go inside of yourself to the same places outside.
Yeah, well, reality is in your head.
There you go.
It's not outside you. It's not outside your head. It's inside your head.
There you go. That's why a lot of flat earthers who, we had a lot of debates about this AE map and the way the sun work on it. And one of the arguments that the AE map users had was the sun is not physical, and all of us have our own sun. The sun I'm looking at is not the sun you're looking at. Basically, a lot of ancients taught that as well, that we're each projecting our own sun and moon up there. This is why it's all due to perspective. But that can be argued and debated. What I will say is there's some truth in that. There is a lot about perspective dealing with this place, and it's based on illusion. Nothing is really tangible or physical. And what we say is that physicality is not infinite, but that's a lie. You can't escape physicality, because wherever you are, it's physical to you. If you leave this body now and you die and you enter a new realm, I mean, you can touch things. There's things to touch. It's physicality there. So solidity, we have to think about that, because the root word of solid is soul. Like I said, all is matter or material. There's no such thing as a physical realm or a spiritual realm. There's only a such thing as a physical spiritual realm. In other words, there is no physicality. We are spirits in a spiritual realm. And when we leave this place, we don't leave it. We're always here. Because if I die right now, my body will go in the ground, but my new experience will begin in the womb of another mother who was always here. We never leave this place. The darkness behind the stars is just a portal that we go to in the womb of our mother. So when we placed inside of the ground and enter the darkness of our tomb, we're placed in the womb of our future mama. And that's when we're behind the stars, waiting to fall back to earth again as a fallen star, a fallen angel. Just like when you look out at the night sky, that darkness up there represent the babies that's in the womb. The stars represent the newborns that are in the hospital waiting to begin their life. You can't physically go to these places because they are so far in distance. If you look at this ripple effect, going to the stars above would be the equivalent of someone living on the rings of one of those outward ripples saying, hey, I want to go to the top driplet up there. How do we travel upward? You don't go upward in the sky to make it to the firmament. You go inward, and then that leads you up the Jacob's ladder. So to go upward, you have to go to the center and climb upward. If you look at this ripple effect, there's no ladder leading you to the stars other than the tree of life at the center of the earth. That's why I said when we physically take that journey, we spiritually take it as well. So in order to live upright is to live centered and to be a balanced person, and to access the top of the mountain is to travel to the center of yourself or the center of the earth. Then one can walk upright by going on that journey. You know, so this is the true religion, what I'm giving you, not the Bibles. They don't teach you to go inward. They teach you to go into the book, which bonds you to man's law and hides the true magic of nature. Physicality is an illusion, and solid is just solid. All that exists is spirit and soul.
Well, you know, we're saying when, like, this is my table here and it feels solid, but it's not really. It's just energies. The whole thing is just energy, isn't it?
Yep.
So, what are we in then, bro?
What
is this?
We're in a simulated sort of reality. That's why people talk about simulation theory. Like you said, everything is a unique vibration. I have a coffee cup in front of me. If you can, it's not a physical object. It's not, nothing is physical. The reason I can touch it is due to vibration. So the only way you would understand the feeling of touch, because if you can see me now, I'm holding a coffee cup and I'm feeling it based on my nervous system. But what allows me to pick it up is because it's a vibration, and you can pick up a vibration. There's something that can't pick this cup up because it's not vibrating at a level to be perceiving this cup. In other words, what I mean is this: if you take two magnets and try to stick them together, it'll be hard to do so because of a physical barrier there that you can't see. Physicality is not the opposite of spirituality. It is the expression of spirituality. So even when you talk about the Taurus fields being what? Vibrating energy, it's not a barrier that's made out of wood or that's made out of rock or that's made out of stone. It's a barrier that's made out of vibration. So let me just say this and I'll pass it back. You can make barriers out of sound. You can use sound as a weapon. In fact, I can create a speaker that's the size of a city and cut it up all the way loud, and no one will be able to penetrate that sound barrier. That's why we say things like sound barrier. Well, think about sound. Is sound physical? Well, what is physical? Like I said, if all things are spiritual in vibration and sound, then all is just spirit. Spirit is spiral. Spiral is this ripple effect that you're looking at. Spiral is the way a sound wave look, like a spiral or a serpent. So all is spirit, all is sound vibration, and sound can be used as a barrier. Water is not solid, but it can be used as a barrier as well. You know, so there are some things that can become that'll be impossible to penetrate, but don't necessarily have to be made of wood or concrete. In fact, the thing, when you talk about concrete, wood, and all of these type of barriers, they are made out of vibration. So the primordial elements make up the elements we build with. And those are the elements you don't see, like sound, thought, the subtle things that build up the so-called physical world. This cup that I'm holding in my hand, it really exists as a thought. The cup is just a copy. What really exists is the invention inside of the person mind who invented the cup. You can burn up every cup on earth, but we're just going to keep making them. They're going to keep coming into existence because you can't burn up the idea. So it's not the thing that I can touch that's permanent, but the thing that it emanates from. If you destroy the thought, every cup will just vanish. Meaning, if I travel back in time and kill the person that invented the cup, every cup will just disappear because it's not physical. It's only a thought that's holding its shape based on a covenant. So the person, the inventor, holds the covenant. They invented the thing that vibrates the way they formed in their mind, but it's just a copy. The true cup is in the mind of the inventor, and it will always live even when all these cups are burned up. This is why you can't destroy. If you say cups aren't physical, or if you say, well, this cup is solid, so it's not a spiritual item, you're wrong, because it's physical. It can only be physical because it's spiritual. You can't have one without the other. It wouldn't exist without the spiritual copy, which is the thought. So I can be a painter and draw a beautiful picture on a canvas, and you may burn up all of my art, but you will never burn up the idea. And people will continue to paint that idea over and over because they can't undo the idea. Like I said, if you burn up every Mona Lisa, people will just keep on making more Mona Lisas to pop up in and out of existence because the thought would never die. And that's the primordial source. So if all there is thought and physicality is an illusion, you have to re-question this world. What are you? You're a covenant. You're only holding your shape based on the thought of your mom and dad, and you agreeing to it in the womb. When you came out the womb and you looked in the mirror and start developing a concept of individuality, you were accepting the covenant of self. Now that you hear and have a concept of individuality, you can only go back to the whole by burning the individual or dying, remarrying the source. And that happens in cosmic breaths, or what we call life and death. So I can take this and I can go deeper into this and go on, but I don't want to be the long-winded one on the panel. So
yeah, you have to come next week to continue and Crystal and teach us.
Santos, bro, she's inviting you back to say some more.
Yeah,
I must admit that I never realized that you were so deep into all this stuff, bro. I found it quite fascinating today. Just, it's not that some of the stuff I don't know what you've been talking about, but just how it actually really is. It's just, yeah.
I know.
It's quite mind-boggling.
I share these videos.
I want to blow y'all away. If you saw the video that Martin Kinney did with Santos Bonacci talking about the cosmic egg, it's a representation of this ripple effect, but it's also a code. You are a cosmic egg. That's why I always say nothing is physical, because this cosmos, we recreate this cosmos every night when we dream. So this same place exists within you. So you are infinite. That space isn't bound to any barriers. And there's just as much infinite space inside of every last one of us as it is when we look out at the stars. The same thing is in us, because when you go to sleep and have a dream, think about it. You're walking around this huge cosmos in your dream. Look at how much power you have. You created this infinite cosmos in your dream, and you walk around that dream and you wake back up in this same place. We never go anywhere. Even when we die, we come to and fro here through the womb of the woman. I think it's beautiful because it shows that we're not physical creatures. We are spirits in a spiritual place called Earth. And that if we were to get on a boat and travel toward the North Pole, I think the further we travel toward the tree of life, the darker it'll get, to the point we would just all find ourselves in darkness, waking back up again on this panel. Like, y'all, let's go back. That was fun. I think it's a portal, and that you can go anywhere you want to be through the darkness. So it goes back to what I'm saying. I can close my eyes now and be in the Bahamas. I can astral project myself into the UK tonight when I go to sleep. And there are people doing that. So are they not in a physical place because they're in a dream? No, it's physical when they're there. In your dream, I was dreaming as a black man when I was young that I was running from the police. And in the dream, man, my heart would be racing. I would be hopping over gates, splitting my pants. And they said that when you are scared, you have supernatural abilities. I remember running from the police and hopping over gates in one leap. Waist high gates, I will hop over in one leap because I'm so scared of the police. And I did this in real life, but I also did it in dreams too. So some things we can do in the dream world we can't do here, like fly. But what if I told you the reason we can't do that here is because the way we perceive this realm is separate from the dream realm? What if I told you the real you was somewhere asleep right now? So when we talk about the cosmic egg of a world that you are inside of, that world is inside of you as well. The cosmic egg is a concept. The ripple effect is a concept, meaning that the world we look out outside, we also create inside when we go to our dreams. So when they talk about people who left the earth, like Enoch, when you talk about the book of Enoch and humans who just completely vanished in the flesh, well, that's true. What happens is you can meditate and create your own worlds. And then you can start and you can tune in to that world. And one or two things will happen depending on my belief on the skillful yogini or the skillful Buddha. I think that your body will just completely vanish. That's the whole rapture concept when they said Christ come back, that people are just going to disappear. I think that either that'll happen or either you just drop dead and people don't know how you died. But I think what you did is you just went to another world. So people who die in their sleep, they die in their sleep because they're dreaming of a whole nother life. They fall asleep in this realm and they dream about them having a family in a whole nother world. And they begin to live in that realm and forget that they was living here. And next thing you know, we hear a news story come on saying, hey, Bobby Johnson died in his sleep last night. Well, Bobby Johnson don't even remember he was here. Bobby Johnson fell asleep and dreamed that he was Christian Wallace with another family somewhere else. And he forgot that he was asleep here. And to us, we looking at a man that died in his sleep, but to him, he never died. He went to sleep and became dreaming in another dream. And he died in his life and just stayed there in that dream world. Because when you dream, you never start the dream from birth. You always start your dream in the middle of the dream. So when you dream, there's a lot of things happening. The body that's in the bed sleep recreates itself in another earth that it created. So you recreate your brain, you recreate your nose, you even the mind is so powerful that the mind recreates itself in a dream. It duplicates itself. So you can dream, and when you're dreaming, you have another brain, another nose, another set of feet,